So, Raffy, what do you think they're saying in that Death Note opening by Maximum the Hormone?
Hey, fucker. Hey, sucker.
This is
Something,
not a good first 1 minute of the podcast. At least for
That's
YouTube.
what I heard. And that's what the
No.
sub said. That's what the sub said. I saw,
Hey,
hey, fucker. Die, human fucker.
And you were watching
Sub-
official subs because it's on Netflix.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Way back when. Back when.
Okay.
Way
so
back when.
those aren't official at all then.
Am I wrong?
Unofficial, not for sale, rent, or
Unofficial.
eBay.
Yeah. This is
Is
a
it-
fan sub, not for resale.
Is it not that?
I don't know actually. I've never looked
It
into
sounds
it. And I
like it.
listened to Maximum the Hormone a lot back then.
Dude, you know what's the perfect podcast to solve this mystery?
What?
The Scooby-Doo podcast with Daphne and Velma. No, us! Let's find out right now. What's the
I was
name?
about
Find
to
out
say, is
right
Daphne and Velma
now.
the anime nerds of the Scooby-Doo gang?
Are we
Who,
already?
who else would it be?
Are we
Who
already
else
They
would
started?
would
it
watch anime. Yeah,
Are
we-
We're ready to start the Velma and Daphne
Are
podcast.
all walls fortified?
Jinky.
Or
be? Jinkies.
Wall
I'm Velma.
complete.
No one's ever gonna get that.
No one's ever going to get that.
I know.
Welcome to Good Trades, episode 83, everyone. I am your host for this week, Mr. Emile in the Morning at Night, hailing from the Dead Show Emile in the Morning at Night, and joining me on this 83rd episode of the Good Trades podcast, where we punch each other with stories and everyone takes the big damage. Right below me is the smoothest man alive. He's the cheesiest, remember, it's Gooey. The cheesy chimp himself, Mr. Miguel Samson. Say hi, buddy.
What's up? It's Gooey. What's up?
Okay, for the audio listeners, you can't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it, but he's
I'm doing
cranking.
the handy chef. The handy chef.
Yeah, he's doing the handy chef motion.
Shout outs
Like-
to
like-
Raffy for actually coming up with that.
Yeah, it cuts on the
Oh, is
inside.
Is it Biggie? Okay.
Yeah,
was-
dude,
Sorry,
it
my
cuts
bad,
on
my
the
bad.
inside,
It's
man.
Biggie. It's Biggie
Cuts on
that
the inside.
Yeah.
did it.
Surgical
And
stainless steel
also, the
blades.
man who actually came up with the action, the Transformer man. He is some sort of prime in the making, Mr. King Migoy.
Listen, everybody, here's my rendition of the Kezu theme.
Okay.
No, that's
And
not
there you
right.
go. I hope you like it.
Were you? I don't get it.
Man, it's so freaky that no music plays when you fight that penis.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Nothing?
He's,
Dead
he's
silence?
blind
Nothing.
and deaf.
He's blind and deaf. That's the best soundtrack for Kezu.
Oh.
Eh,
Smart.
Absolute silence.
Yeah, he just kind of looks like a penis. Speaking of kind of looking like a penis,
Hey.
that's not that's not a great
Too
segue.
late.
But also
Hello?
joining us right below the king of Migoys is the hustliest, the bustliest, the muscliest. He's going to drink your banana water, Raffy Lanes.
What's up, people? I don't know.
This is the first time I've heard Emile describing Raffy as a phallic symbol of the good
It's happened.
trades.
No, yeah.
On
No,
record.
I was looking for a segue.
record.
I was looking for a segue, and I was just looking at Raffy's head, and I was like, maybe this will work. And then I regretted it as I was saying it.
We're in the
It's
hole
been
now.
thrown around before. It's been thrown around
Has
before.
it?
I don't super.
Really?
Yeah, but shockingly enough, it's been.
What?
I've been called that, but when I had hair.
Oh,
That you
Whoa,
look like
is
a
that-
penis?
is
I
that?
parted my hair right down the middle, but I had like thick kind of hair, like kind of
Kachapoy
thick
penis
thick
head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GQ trunks thing, yeah.
it's weird.
Future
it's weird how
Trunks.
that's
So you-
worked out.
So you had the hairstyle of the protagonist of Detroit Metal City?
Sure.
Oh.
Sure.
Oh,
Yep.
That's an anime.
I was shooting for a more Nick Carter sort of
Yeah, there you go.
appearance.
Okay, that makes
There you
more
go.
sense. That's more in line with how the Raffy
Yeah.
I know would
Yeah.
be.
We get all audiences, the anime fans and the real people. I'll cover all the fronts.
The big,
big
two.
Big two, anime fans and real people. So, boys, welcome to Good Trades, episode 83. Do we have any fan mail? Do we have any listener
good
mail
lord.
today?
Yes, we do.
I have not checked, actually. Do we? Raffy, you want to start us off with some reader mail?
I have just checked. This one comes from the Discord, as usually all the podcast reader mail does. This one comes from my good friend, Jean Paul. It's a thing he does. He comes into the room.
Long, man.
We all greet him. Jean Paul. He says, "Hey guys, just want to get your opinion on Magic the Gathering going into universes beyond. Confirmed is Warhammer 40k and the Lord of the Rings," and he attaches the trailer here. I say, what if we watch this trailer right now and we get live
Right
reactions? Is that possible? What do you think? I haven't watched it. Okay.
I mean,
maybe
it
not.
won't be
no.
great. It won't be great for the audio, but let's just pretend we did that.
Also, Raffy, that's an article, not the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
Oh.
article, dude.
I
an
knew
article.
that. I knew that.
All right.
What are
for
Okay,
for people
so-
who are unaware about this particular topic,
Okay, there we
I
go.
know at least Migs knows about this. It's
Oh, yeah,
because
I do.
Magic the Gathering announced that they will be coming with a EDH set themed around Warhammer 40k, like within the year.
Oh, man.
Like I think 100% of the cards, or at least, if not the 100% of the art. But there will be some brand new cards exclusive to these sets, made for these precons. So essentially,
So
it's like the Walking Dead set that came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was
Those
weird,
were completely new cards without any. It's not like a reskin like the Godzilla cards. They're completely new cards. They are legal in legacy formats like Legacy, Vintage, and Commander.
Man.
So this is
Negan's
kind
just in
of
everything,
yeah.
huh?
This is kind of like that again.
That's right.
Okay. So it's
These-
set.
Yeah, dude.
Is
Yeah,
it a
these are
whole set?
Commander
Okay.
precons, but all the new cards will be legal in those said formats. They're not silver bordered
Yeah.
or anything.
So when Magic the Gathering says going into universes beyond, I'm assuming it's not just limited to 40k and Lord of the Rings. They plan to like touch on other universes. As far as the things they've already announced, Warhammer 40k and Lord of the Rings, so far that fits in, right? That completely fits into what Magic the Gathering is. Like
Little
space
bit.
orcs, like even though it's like high tech, we got artifacts, we got technology. That's still magic. Lord of the Rings, elves
Dragons,
and shit, like
yeah.
that's still magic.
High
right?
fantasy.
But you get to stuff like The Walking Dead, and that's where it starts to get weird, right? And that was kind of like their first foray into it. So is this them kind of walking it back and like will only hit universes that kind of make sense, or will they still be open to like Walking Dead bullshit?
I mean, they have to be open with. I mean, they have to stick to something that's closer to the fantasy setting. So the
Oh,
Warhammer,
yeah.
the Warhammer franchise, Lord of the Rings franchise is fine.
Yeah, they're very thematic still.
The Walking Dead, though, I don't think they're gonna go there again because that's a dud.
Yeah.
That's
That
weird.
was so weird,
A lot of-
man. Because like
Yeah.
seeing the Walking Dead characters in Magic the Gathering formats was kind of like it felt disconnected from what the fans really want. It's like, like literally, it's like striking while the iron is cold.
That's right. But yeah,
Yeah.
um,
and it's been
I
been dead for a while.
but yeah, I could see more properties being like crossed over with Wizards and this kind of initiative. I would, I would totally go for the Witcher series if they're gonna do that. It's gonna be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But I don't know, like just for just for fun, if they are gonna go back to something that's not sci-fi or not that's not fantasy, like The Walking Dead, like what kind of properties are you guys?
Would you be okay with?
Yeah, would you be okay
Breaking
with?
Bad.
Breaking Bad. Oh, dude.
Breaking
Walter
Bad.
White.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Walter
Oh,
White.
dude.
2 and White.
And he has like fading 5 because he's
Yeah. Fading 5.
A fucking
Some legendary drug dealer.
fucking like name would be Heisenberg, the one who knocks, and then legendary human.
He's a
Walter White.
double-faced
Dude.
card.
the one
yeah.
who
Double
knocks.
Double-faced card.
It's a modal
He starts as
DFT.
Walter
Yeah.
White.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's cool to like reinterpret like from a fan's perspective. It's cool to reinterpret like that. Like I've indulged a few times, but like having it officially, something about it like rubs me the
Alright.
wrong way.
Let's
Yeah.
let's
I don't
not go
know.
to
I don't know.
AMC territory because thinking about this type of initiative, I would say I would go far beyond that. Let's have Wizards have their take on Dragon Ball. Yeah, let's have them go with Dragon Ball.
I don't know as well.
No, here's my take
Don't
on
be-
it. I don't mind crossovers. I think that's actually cool. And that's, the Walking Dead set I heard sold incredibly well. Possibly one of the
Did
best
it?
selling
Really?
Secret Lair stuff. Yeah, it brought a lot of new people into it just because the
Oh,
characters were present
okay.
in the thing.
Okay.
So, what I don't like is the argument where you're bringing in brand new cards whose functionality doesn't exist in any other card,
Oh yeah,
and that they're black bordered, meaning they're legal in certain formats. And because of the limited nature of these products, like say the Secret Lair ones, what if this card broke the format and you need
What
a
if
full
this
set
card
of it?
becomes meta?
Yeah.
Right?
And because Secret Lairs, well, for the example of Secret Lairs, they're made to order.
Yeah.
That means there's no printing of them after that initial one. And
Oh,
especially
that
since it's a
sucks.
license deal, there might not be any other printing of it ever again. Right? So
makes
that will
sense.
just skyrocket prices or
No,
for
yeah.
the Warhammer
I
sets,
super agree with Migoy on that.
the Warhammer sets, at least they're in a precon, so you could argue that maybe you'd want to keep them in a condensed little bubble of here are my special themed EDH decks, and I'll never take them apart, right? Because that ruins the theme.
Or like we can have a Warhammer cube.
yeah,
I mean,
but like
the
if there's a
safest one is for EDH, basically.
yeah EDH
Ah.
because it's generally a casual format, even though it's officially sponsored by Wizards and all that. At least there's that limitation to it, right? But what if there's like essentially a Warhammer Teferi's protection in there? That means these sets will sell for $1 million for one fucking card or some nonsense like that,
Yeah.
right? What if there's
yeah,
EDH
yeah.
staples in there? But at least EDH it's limited to one per copy, so there's
Like
that too.
I would be fine with it as long as there's ready supply of this kind of shit, because that's the thing that always makes it like the hardest thing. Like having that like manufactured scarcity always like jacks up the prices of certain cards, and I'm like, yo, Wizards, I know that you guys are trying to run a business, and I know that you guys are trying to like pump the value of your cards, but if it's after the fact that you sold them, it doesn't affect you. So as a business, it doesn't make sense, right? It only
Right.
makes sense to print even more because only after sales are affected by the artificial inflation of prices. So I don't understand why Magic just doesn't refuse to keep printing them.
It's funny for a company who doesn't like to believe that there's a secondary market, seems to price
There
their
is.
products based on the secondary market.
It's kind of crazy.
It's nuts, isn't
nuts.
it? But
I
yeah,
think-
As far as that goes, I think we're all kind of like agreed that that's our basic beef with it. But I
Yeah.
really like Samson's
If-
question. Like, if you were to like get a universe that Magic would jump into, what would you want?
Money
it needs to be
heist.
something like high fantasy. or,
heist.
I actually
mean,
don't know.
Money heist.
I mean,
Here-
you
here's
don't
the-
have to limit yourselves on that question, though. Like I said, like go beyond sci-fi and AMC.
Plus Ultra.
because you don't have to limit yourself with AMC.
So what
No, 'cause
what
like-
you're saying is
Yeah.
we
Because
need
like
to
the
go.
stuff they've mentioned so far, like Warhammer and like fucking Lord of the Rings, those make complete sense. What you said, like Witcher, that makes sense. If
Yeah.
they made a Game of Thrones set, that would kind of make sense
That would
too.
kind of make
Yeah,
sense
that
too.
would-
I think
Yeah, but like,
Have cards
Yeah,
based
Raffy?
on like conspiracy or betrayal instead of
yeah,
demons.
dude, an
Yeah.
entire Game of Thrones conspiracy set would totally
That
make
would be-
sense as
that
long
would
as
be
they
great.
chop off those last 2 seasons.
It might fix it too.
Yeah, might fix it.
release the RR cut. No, I think I've isolated my problem in what I feel like is wrong in this crossover, and it's that it's a poor crossover in terms of lore and theming. Like,
Yeah.
when they made Negan, they just slapped Negan on a card. Like, they made
Yeah.
Art of Negan, put him on a card, but like, how much better would that have been if they made like Negan artificer something or merciless artificer, something like that, like you
somehow put it in the lore why
put it
he's
in
here.
the lore. Like they
No,
crossed
yeah,
the
yeah.
portal, they crossed
Yeah,
the
that would
portal.
work.
He's not wearing his goddamn leather jacket anymore, like, but he's still got Lucille. He's wearing some planeswalker robes or some shit, like a proper crossover. That would be great.
Like a super easy way to write it in is that there's a bunch of crazy planeswalkers and they
Yep.
just so happened to walk into Walking Dead plane, right?
Yeah.
And they fucking summoned Negan,
Yeah, sure.
right?
Sure. Yeah. That's cool.
He
That'll
can
be
still
a
have his leather
better-
jacket. He can still have his bat, but like he was summoned and
Yeah.
he's like, what the fuck am I doing here?
That would
Right?
be a better Walking Dead set, where actual characters cross over to magic and not just.
I mean,
this is
Not
this
just
is a Walking Dead set.
interpret.
In
Yeah.
the
I mean,
in the
Raffy,
modern
how would you
setting.
feel? How would you feel if a planeswalker from Kamigawa suddenly summoned like Rurouni Kenshin characters?
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah.
Yes, please go there. Go beyond fantasy. Let's go.
That would be
Get
great.
backers.
Dude.
Get backers. Flame of Rekka.
Shishio has a sacrifice 1 Megumi
Dude.
token.
Oh, wait, okay. Here it is.
Plus 1 plus 0.
Emile, imagine.
Deal
No,
5
Emile.
damage.
Actually, Raffy. Imagine a planeswalker
up?
from Kamigawa brought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Kamigawa.
That would be
Sick.
With
sick.
ninjutsu still.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Ninjutsu, yeah.
It's
I
like
like that one.
TMNT3, baby. It's like TMNT3.
With the fucking
The
scepter.
the scepter,
Good
baby.
God.
Dude, the scepter can be the artifact.
And in that
Dude.
sense,
It
in
could.
that sense,
It could be the new Sensei's divining top.
Oh
could
shit.
also
and
be
like-
that's how also, like, what about the Power Rangers, but they're ninja forms? Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, they-
You mean the
That-
alien
that could
Rangers? Or
something
They would
like
all
that.
have
Jedi.
ninjutsu. And like fucking Michelangelo can summon food tokens, right?
Fuck
pizza
yeah.
tokens that
Pizza
are a
tokens.
subcategory of food.
We will go back to
Sacrifice
food
1
tokens
pizza
later.
token.
Because
Oh,
there's something,
yeah.
something
Okay,
has been
here's
announced.
my pitch for the
Go.
big dumb crossover.
Uh-huh.
Yes, do it
Because I've seen these in fan versions, and functionally they would totally fit with Magic. Star Wars, right?
all. Yeah.
That
Like I've seen,
know-
you know the old Innistrad
Space
transform
Wizards.
cards. When you fulfill a certain condition, it will flip.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a fan card
That's
for Anakin Skywalker, and if a condition is fulfilled, he becomes Darth Vader on the other side.
So you need to
Sick.
cut off his limbs in order to do that.
That's sick.
You need to
need
damage
to
If
hit
he
him with a
dies
fireball.
once or something, if he
Yeah,
dies
yeah.
to burn damage, then he becomes Darth Vader. Or if he kills younglings and whatnot.
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
If
man.
this card takes certain amount of damage from a red source, he turns into
It
Darth
turns into
Vader.
Darth Vader.
yeah. Shoot.
And like it's
Oh,
space
God.
fantasy, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it totally
It's like
fits.
it's like Warhammer,
Like,
so it's fine.
yeah, with laser swords and fucking they have wizards with laser swords.
Dude,
Exactly.
dude, Star
Magic.
Wars is just space wizards. So
Bolt is just fucking Sith lightning.
and like fucking Darth Vader's armor is based off Japanese like fucking
Yeah,
armor,
it's a
right?
samurai man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would like a Monster Hunter Ikoria crossover set. That would be
No.
fucking sick, dude.
Ooh, no wait.
Monster
that'd be so
Hunter
fucking
Ixalan, dude. Monster Hunter Ixalan.
No, Ikoria, because Ikoria is the land of the behemoths. So that's basically
I guess.
That
monster.
focused
Yes.
more on the behemoths than the people.
Oh,
right?
that is true.
So there's
yeah, I
kind of
think
that.
Ixalan is a good
Ixalan
match
with more
for this.
Ixalan,
monsters and not just dinosaurs.
Not just dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Ixalan time.
Oof.
Sick.
Mine would be the NBA.
You mean Migs' mana base?
Dude.
You got Scottie Pippen.
Fucking Chicago Bulls
Like,
mono burn deck or
if
something.
if you could
Mono red
They
burn
win
deck.
hard, they win fast.
Yeah.
if you control if
go
you have
hard, you
Scottie
go
Pippen,
hard.
Scottie Pippen is just a partner character.
Oh
Like,
no.
You can
Dude,
only have him
I
as a
would-
partner.
He can only
companion.
partner with Michael Jordan.
Dude, they could make companion cards as
Yeah.
coaches. So you have a coach
Oh,
card in
something
your
like that.
sideboard.
Okay.
They have a fucking
That could
playbook
work.
of
You have a wish
could
card in
work.
the form of coach cards
yeah.
And
from
then there's
outside
a
the game.
there's a very
Timeout.
specific. There's also a very specific board wipe called Jerry Krause. Destroy all 90s Bulls players
Oh,
because you
dude,
get disbanded.
Oh, dude.
there could be
what?
there could be a fucking a wish card where swap 4 cards of the same name from your main deck with another card of like a 4 of another card from your sideboard, and that's like
Yeah.
substitution or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
group
yeah.
substitution.
Oh,
dude.
Yeah, dude.
Can
It's
you-
just ninjutsu, but for the basketball
But,
set.
Yeah.
but for
Dude.
the main deck, not on the field.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Imagine you have an Is It red blue Detroit Pistons deck that has a board wipe called
Putang ina.
Jordan Rules.
Jordan Rule.
Destroy all flying creatures.
Oh, yeah. Destroy all flying
Deal-
creatures.
Deal 6 damage to all flying creatures.
If he's in the air, hit him. That's the flavor text.
Oh, God.
And the art is
so
just
good.
elbows.
Yeah.
Dude, I totally wouldn't mind that.
Oh, dude, you have
So
an
sick.
instance card like a Dikembe Mutombo SWAT.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
destroy target flying creature, and then there's flavor
Yeah,
text
yeah.
not in my house or something like
Not
that.
in my house. And it's just
and-
Kevin
and-
Mutombo finger wag.
Lore-wise, now would be the perfect time to do it because of Space Jam.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Right,
Fuck
right,
yeah,
right.
totally, totally.
They can just take the Space Jam route and say that a bunch of planeswalkers summoned all of the basketball people to a fight for the universe.
Yep.
That is if Warner
sounds like
Brothers
it.
and Hasbro aren't as greedy as
Dude.
they are to each other. That would work.
They
Yeah,
could
man.
totally do it. They could totally do it. And that would open the door for everything else. Fucking Flintstones cards, fucking Hanna-Barbera cards.
no.
Yeah. SWAT Cat. Ooh.
Oh,
SWAT
God,
Cat's
really?
cards. Yeah.
Heathcliff is in Warner Brothers.
Cliff.
Damn. SWAT cats would be
Magilla
cool.
Gorilla.
I didn't know.
Magilla Gorilla. A fucking giant growth could have
I
grape
want-
ape on it, right?
Oh, man.
And,
Great.
I really want Wizards to make this thing happen. Make NBA
A
MTG
Scooby Doo
happen.
set.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the
please.
Scooby Doo set would be good.
But would you
You got
want
some
them in
Scooby
like
snacks.
black border, or would you prefer them to be silver bordered? If
Here's
they
the
would
thing.
have, if they were to have like completely new mechanics.
It's okay if it's a blackboard as long as it's within a format like Commander.
Yeah,
That's like the thing that I wanted.
right.
Or
I think that's
like,
why
for-
we're giving a pass to the Warhammer one, and because it's in a commander set.
as long as
My
these
commander is
actually
Shaq.
even the idea of crossing over IPs, I think the safest and most acceptable route would be for Wizards to just put it in Commander, within Commander, and
Right.
not in Standard. Because for the Walking Dead, they made it like legal for what Legacy or Modern or I don't know. Like it's
It's
basically
the
you can
same-
play them because of
It's the same as
Black
no.
Border.
Well, technically, the commander cards would also be legal in Legacy and Vintage,
Mm-hmm.
but at least they would be in like a regularly buyable set like Commander Precons, and the at least the idea of design would be for Commander.
yeah.
So at least there's that.
I think the commander like route would be best for stuff like this. Like you could have like a
Right.
Scooby Doo commander set. You could have a
Fuck yeah.
fucking like
Dude.
L.A. Lakers, Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons commander set, shit like that.
I would
Harlem
like
about-
Globetrotters.
I would like
What
a
about
Magic
my Space
Legends
Ghost control?
wacky racist commander set. Ooh, that would be good.
Vehicles, baby.
Vehicles,
Bringing it
man.
back.
Yeah. Bring back
Vehicles,
vehicles.
dude.
It's like a draftable
Vehicles
commander set.
Like
Oh, dude, the anthill mob needs to be accrued by 811s.
goblins.
Oh yeah, that's so
Interesting.
sick.
sick.
Professor
Thanks
Batpendy.
so much for the question, Mr.
Yes.
Jean Paul. That was awesome. We would love
man.
for this to happen. Warhammer 40k and Lord of the Rings makes sense, and our main
NBA.
consensus on it is we hope it happens good.
If it happens, good.
Yeah. So that brings us to the weeks, and I think since one of my topics kind of has to do with what we're already talking about, I'll take
Yeah.
the first week. Yeah.
Sure.
So, one of the things I want to talk about before we get into the rest of my week is actually a thing I'm kind of looking forward to because it's coming out soon. And since we're talking about Magic, why not talk about it right now? I kind of want to talk about the Commander set for 2021 for Strixhaven. Have you boys seen this? What do you think?
Specifically for Strixhaven, huh? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Do you like Harry Potter?
You like High School Musical?
fuck yeah, dog.
Okay, so the
know it.
set for Commander 2021 is coming out April 23, and it comes with 5 pre-con Commander decks. One is called shit. I have a list here. One is called Prismari Performance, Witherbloom Witchcraft, Lorehold Legacies. There is Quantum Quandrix, and there is Silverquill Statement. The one I'm super interested in is Silverquill Statement because, of course, it's Orzhov. It's Orzhov, right? It's Orzhov. So I'm super into that. What do you call it? Have you guys seen these? What do you think of this commander set? And what do you call it? Is there any particular one you guys are gravitating towards?
If
I've
we
seen
would
a
like
bit
to
of
pick a
the-
school, is that the
Yeah.
question?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
one's Slytherin?
Which Hogwarts school are you in?
Siyempre
So
si Raffy
far-
Witherbloom.
What?
Witherbloom
Casted
because it's
Kasi
Golgari.
No, but that's the thing. Like
I allow
I've
it.
seen a lot of I've seen the deck reveals, and it's quite interesting because there are color combinations that doesn't fall into its archetypes, the
Right.
usual
Really?
archetypes.
Right.
Witherbloom,
Wait a
which is what we know as Golgari colors, which is like sacrifice,
Graveyard.
graveyard
manipulation.
recursion. Witherbloom, on the other hand, focuses on lifelink and counters, which is very
It's more
unique
Simic.
in the Golgari like
Interesting.
archetype. So
It's not completely
it's
absent from that
interesting.
pairing, but it's not the
Yeah.
usual combos you'd find.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we have like lifelink elves nowadays in Kaldheim and in the set before. And but right now they're pushing for the Golgari colors for Witherbloom to be lifelink and +1/+1. And it's actually funny because they've revealed the deck list during the LRR pre-release for the Witherbloom
Nice,
deck,
loading ready to run.
and they have some interesting commanders in the Witherbloom deck, and one of them is Master Chef. Basically, a
What?
Master Chef that plays around with food tokens. So food tokens are back in this
Yeah.
specific commander set, and it's basically making food tokens, important and viable in the deck strategy. And then there's lore. Was that Lorehold?
Lorehold? Is that the Boros
Lorehold. Yeah.
colors?
Which is Boros colors.
That's Boros, but I know the focus for that is graveyard and artifacts, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
which is something that you
Weird.
don't quite see in a Boros
Graveyard.
archetype, which is
Right.
hit
Yeah.
fast, hard, like hit fast hit hard,
Yeah.
no mercy
Yeah.
type of thing. So it's
mean-
interesting.
You mean the graveyard stuff is in the Boros?
I mean, you're
Yeah.
a Boros
Well,
fan
yeah,
yourself,
dude.
Raffy.
I mean-
You
I-
single-handedly
You're a
made
Boros
this happen,
main.
Raffy.
Yeah. During the
They
sealed
saw
X
what you
SmackDown.
did, and they're like, let's make a commander deck about that.
Fuck all the things that we've established about these colors. This one bald guy in the Philippines, he's changed the game. He's opened our
changed the game.
minds.
Oh man. And
Wow.
like if I think about it, the one I'm super interested in is actually Silverquill, right? But mostly because number one, it's fucking Orzhov, and number two, it's heavy on the politics. But the other theme of this deck is actually aggro, which is weird for me because Orzhov is usually about really turtling up with the life gain or the sacrifices and shit like that,
Comboing
and making
off to
plays
some
through
degree.
that, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, Silverquill is aggro focused. So
Right.
I haven't looked super into the deck, but that's what the theme on the box says.
I
So
know-
I'm kind of super interested in it.
I know there's one card that was by Mercs or Miguel Mercado. Like
Yeah. Oh,
there's-
cool.
Yeah,
The new black card.
there's a new black card that was drawn by him. That's exciting actually. Congrats to him.
And it has a
Sick.
very aggro effect. It's like a creature that if an opponent's creature gets any number of counters, this black card gets the same number as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ability.
So,
it's like
Go
magic
same
big,
power.
go fast.
Yeah,
The same
it's,
kind
It's something
and
you'd see
same
in
amount.
green more often.
Which is super exciting because not only is it great art, it's on a great card by Filipino
Yeah,
artist.
it's on a
Yeah.
decent card.
Mercado. That's good.
No,
like
yeah.
the last thing you want is if like you break into the Magic the Gathering scene, you make great art and it's for something like Talisman of Dominance or whatever.
Wait a
Some
So,
jank
like,
second.
draft common.
Hold up.
yeah. Because if you notice, like even the commons, even the bad ones have great art sometimes. Even bad cards
Yeah.
have great art.
Yeah.
But like a
sometimes.
lot of
That's
people
true.
look it over because the cards
Because the
suck.
card sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's kind of
Okay.
really awesome that it happened. That it's both. a
So
good
far
card.
we've established that I'm still an Orzhov mark, and Rafi has found his true calling in Boros. What about the Miguels?
for now. For
Oh
now.
god. So far, I've no clue yet because I've also checked the Prismari deck, which is the Izzet colors, and it's kind of the same because it's all just magic, instants and sorceries. They basically made Prismari Izzet, and
So it's like
Izzet,
big spells.
it's Izzet big spells and storm.
Yeah, it's big mana value is it instead of
Yeah,
combo
and-
is it.
And I think for the Quandrix one, which is Simic, it's also the same. It's also samey
It's
because
counters.
it's counters and it's tokens actually. It's
and
more on
also
tokens.
spells matter, I think. So it's kind of more is it than Prismari.
Tokens.
It's a little weird.
What's this? I forgot the other one. It's
I think it's
stealing
Quandrix.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Quandrix. So I don't know.
Quandrix.
Like
Doing more
so
is
far,
things than Simic, but it's
I'm-
still there.
I'm kind of interested with Witherbloom because it's a different one, but at the same time, I'm gonna make another Golgari deck, which is I already have two. So I'm not sure. Maybe I would go with
Feel the
Quandrix or Prismari actually. But it really depends though, because I've
Yeah,
seen
'cause-
some other good stuff on other decks too.
Nice.
Like the most interesting thing about this set that I've been seeing, and that it is kind of getting me excited and kind of makes me want to get into it, is that it breaks the preconceived notions you have of a color combination.
Right.
Like I don't usually play aggro, but I'm so interested in the Silverquill set that I'm willing to get it and learn how to play aggro. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Silverquill.
What about you, Migoy?
What?
Are you interested in any of these?
Pretty much the same as Migs. I was really eyeing Prismari a lot, mainly for EDH parts.
Oh,
Because I really like I'm very fond of big dumb plays, especially like a lot of mid range stuff. Not really combo plays. But also, like, if we were to do like a pre-release thing, and if we were to choose our school, I'd also think about Quandrix because it's doing a lot of other things, like not completely absent from Simic colors, but more. And yeah, like you'd find a lot of it stuff in Simic colors or stuff like that, like spell heavy, surprisingly, but still have like +1/+1 counters and then token making, which y'all know I also love me some tokens.
Oh yeah,
You
Go
love
wide.
that shit.
you're a
Dude,
Simic
that's
man.
still a big play.
Yep.
And I've played Simic naman before. It's also one of my comfort color pairings if we were to do that, like in arena and stuff. Anything with blue is a comfort color pairing. It's come to that point. But yeah, one of those two for
Oh
sure.
man, yeah. I'm actually like kind of super excited, but like with the fucking quarantine and everything like that, I don't even know how we'd get our hands on this kind of shit. But like, dude,
What about
Raffy
you,
though,
Raffy?
Yo.
would you be a Golgari Witherbloom life gain man, or would you go
Always.
to your Boros artifact graveyard recursion time?
No, fuck Boros. I've always been a girl guy, man.
Witherbloom, okay.
What's the
Witherbloom
name?
for
Witherbloom is a
life,
cool ass
son.
name.
Yeah, it is.
Witherbloom
It
is so
is.
cool.
It's
What
very
are the
Golgari.
houses? Just so we're clear, what are the houses? I mean the schools. What are the different schools? We got
The
Witherbloom.
schools-
That's basically it. Witherbloom, Prismari,
Prismari,
Quandrix, Silverquill, and Lorehold.
Who's the
Yeah,
Hufflepuff?
dude,
There's always
Raffy,
got to be a
here's
Hufflepuff.
my pitch to you for Lorehold. If you look
Okay.
at one of the arts for them, because they're like lore holders, right? As in their name. So they have a bunch of magic
Whoa.
scrolls. In one of the arts, there's an elephant man whose scroll is a Gatling gun.
Because it's artifacts, the fucking Oni gang's gonna get killed again thanks to Lorehold.
Dude.
Ooh, why did you? Wow. You just did the perfect
Also-
pitch. Wait a second.
Also, here's my pitch for Prismari, Raffy. High School Musical. Glee.
Yeah, they're the art people,
What do you
right?
mean?
The crazy ex-girlfriend. They're the
Dude,
theater people. The
Yeah,
theater,
they're theater
people.
Literally in the MTG wiki, the description for Prismari is that they are the art, theater, and musical kids of Strixhaven.
Yep. Look at Raffy
Literally.
being confused now. What school am I gonna enroll, Mom?
It's high school
be an
all
art
over
major.
again.
Dude.
Oh my god, this is exactly what Troy Bolton went through.
Oh,
He didn't know if he was a graveyard jock or like he was a theater major. He didn't know.
or a storm junkie. Yeah.
A storm junkie.
Or did he like the Gatling gun?
The
I don't know,
nerds have
man.
the guns. Oh no.
I don't know. My choice is easy. I'm always Orzhov.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Emile is still the edgy kid.
Yeah, dude. I'm the edgy kid.
You're the War and Peace. You're the War and Peace guy.
Andun pa si
Sky
Liliana,
high.
di ba?
Yeah, Witherbloom. I'm not sure what the wiki says about Witherbloom actually.
I forget actually.
Like they say,
They're-
it feels
like,
like they're just
I believe-
Golgari but school.
No, yeah. I believe that the Witherbloom College is all about the natural sciences. Like they
Biology.
They're just the
sense.
biology majors. Yeah.
Because
so they're
Quandrix is
doing what
math.
Simic used to be.
So yeah, exactly. Because Quandrix is just math now.
Yeah,
It's
math
just-
nerds.
Yeah, math nerds, mathematics.
Ares.
Oh man.
Can't believe
I'm-
mathematics is a thing before, huh?
Our
Like,
our headmaster is a dragon.
All of their headmasters are
Yeah, all of the
dragons.
headmasters are.
Are
dragons.
they? Oh, dang
Which
it!
is cool.
Scratch that
Yeah.
out, I guess.
Each school gets one.
Dude, like this is
Imagine
one of
if
the reasons-
everyone was Niv Mizzet. That's the
Dude.
thing.
Yeah,
That's it.
True.
That's it.
That's
Everyone's
so
Niv Mizzet. And
cool.
this is actually one of the main reasons I wanted to bring this up because the reason why this set and especially the commander set is kind of like reaching out to me is because we've always liked Ravnica and the guilds and
Yes.
how they kind of
Yep.
give character to all of the color combinations. And this is kind of what Strixhaven is doing again.
That's
So
true.
I thought you guys would be super into it.
That's nice.
I'm actually
yes.
into it the first time
Exactly.
I've seen the announcement. Like, oh, they're doing Ravnica, but Harry Potter.
Yeah, but
But
Harry Potter.
I am
Yeah,
kind of.
baby.
I'm a little bit disappointed that it only has 5 schools and not 10, and this is only just one set.
Yeah.
Because they're just gonna
Yeah.
do one over for Strixhaven, and then we can't.
There has
we
to be
won't see
more.
any Gruul schools. No Gruul schools or
Not
Azor
yet,
schools.
maybe. Who knows?
Not yet. Yeah.
What
that's
if
true.
it's like the school fights in FF8, where they have to fight a rival school with the other 5 color pairings? You know,
Oh, dude.
launch
yeah.
Balamp Garden to fight the fucking what's their name? Who knows?
Galbane, yeah.
Maybe there's a yeah. Maybe in the next expansion. Seems
Hopefully,
very open to
yeah.
that.
I really hope so. Gruul School would just be the public school of wizards. Like all the
Oh,
like the
man.
juvie.
All the 5 other colors.
Don't say
no.
that.
Yeah.
No, what if
Gruul
they
school
twist it
is
up? They're the
public
richest
school?
school.
Or
There's
like
Because
the
of all
dean.
the mana.
Their dean might be like just
Oh my
Coach
God.
Carter trying to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
control over the students. Gotta do something about your life.
They're wizard athletes.
Oh man.
Wizard comes first.
Yeah, actually, speaking of athletes, they have their own like Quidditch Cup, right? Like they have
Oh,
their
hell
own
yeah.
sports
Really?
happening
Holy
in the world of
fuck.
Strixhaven.
It's
I
actually
forget the
like
name
an
of it.
alternate win condition card. I forget the name.
Yeah, but they have that kind of thing where
Sick.
there's also a football field, and
It's
they have
just
mascots that it's basically just it's sort of like
Man.
Quidditch and football, so it's kind of cool. Have that
Yeah,
school
I'm-
spirit.
They're just shoving it up Rowling's butt, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
We're just gonna grab all of it.
they're gonna
Oh,
steal
this
the
is-
pothead
this is-
audience.
This is our
think
headmaster
the-
Dragon Door.
Man, like this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up. And like
Love
at
it.
the end of the day, like I just want to figure out how to like either play these commander cards with you boys or like do something related to
The
Strixhaven.
moment this got
another-
announced, Migs was already throwing the idea of us getting pre-release packs and then
Oh yeah,
doing
because
sealed again.
I think it's viable
do Sealed X
for
Smackdown
Sealed X
again.
Smackdown again, since you know
yeah,
super.
let's do it.
Because we get to
they're
pick a
gonna
color
do-
theme.
Yeah, they're gonna
I'm into
do
it.
like Ravnica style pre-release kits where there's one extra pack that's specifically for that school or
A
that
seeded
color.
pack.
Yeah, a seeded pack.
Yeah.
Sick.
Sealed
I don't
Deck
mind.
Smackdown intramurals.
Pwede.
Sick.
That works.
Sick.
Sports
Okay,
Fest.
so-
Fest.
Sports Fest.
yeah.
Sports Fest.
Sealed Deck
yes.
Sports Fest. Yo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sealed Deck Sports
God.
Fest. Oh
Yeah.
my
That
god.
sounds super fun.
Sports Fest.
Oh,
And also,
that's so good.
what was it? Ever since Wizards of the Coast announced that ever since I think specifically Kaldheim, they announced that in terms of design, they are strengthening the set itself. So you have
Good.
like some really good commons in like because Eldraine was so nuts, right? And then some of the sets after that were kind of dumbed down a little.
Elrin was too nuts.
Eldraine was a bit too nuts, yeah. But
It's too nuts. They
they
banned a lot of cards there.
they said that with the design of Kaldheim onwards, they will strengthen these cores, like these little new sets. So you know,
good for
like
them.
fucking Kaldheim has that blue removal that exiles creature or artifact and turns it. The controller gets like a bird.
Oh
Like
yeah.
still that's fucking removal in common in blue in common.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah,
Exile
yeah.
effect too.
And
That
it's
fucking
also
goes into
for-
EDH.
it also has
It's
Foretell,
Pongify.
which is it's
Yeah, it also has
based on-
Foretell to make it cheaper. So there's a
Is
lot of
it-
crap like that. There's some really good ass commons in this new set.
I have a question. I want something. I want there to be a
What?
young Jace enrolled at one of the schools, and then
Yeah.
he's got a scar, and then Nicole Bolas is like the boy who lived.
It's always Jace.
Dude.
And it's Jace.
Jace
is
Jr..
Harry Potter.
Sino si
Jace
Cedric
Jr..
Diggory?
Dude,
Oh, no.
Liliana is the new Snape. He has to protect the boys.
It's true.
Protect the boy.
That's so sick. That's so sick.
That
Let's
would
go.
be sick. That would be
Si
sick.
Gideon
That would
ba
be
si Cedric Diggory? Kasi
Oh,
namatay
because he's
siya.
dead.
Because he's dead.
And we can skip the part where
Tapos
And then he
ingit
becomes
kasi
a sexy vampire.
Kasi di ba inggit
Yeah.
rin si Jace kay Gideon kasi yung lakas-lakas daw niya.
Galing-galing niya sa Quidditch.
and then and then
It's true though.
turns
Like
out
Jace has
it
like
turns out
issues with
oh sorry.
Oh yeah.
And then Nicol Bolas is living on the back of Garruk's head.
Garrick's wearing a turban the whole time, and
Don't
people are like, "What are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
doing?"
Damn,
Wait,
don't do
wait.
Garrett dirty
Didn't
though.
Magic
Don't
do
Garrett dirty.
some? Hold up! Didn't Magic do something similar to Horcruxes already?
Yeah, like the plane,
Yeah.
the spiritual plane.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's how
What's
Nikki B
that?
came back, right, or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
shoot.
first time.
That's it. Yep.
It could totally
That's
work.
it.
Yeah.
We gotta do it.
Yep.
Man,
You gotta do it.
would
They
it be
have to do it.
Would it be
Soren-
crazy if
Soren
J.K.
Black?
Rowling just plagiarized Wizards of the Coast?
From the beginning.
From the start. Oh man. Okay, so that's the Magic talk I wanted to get out of the way, and maybe we can talk about like getting into this set together. That would be super
Okay.
fun in my opinion.
Nice.
Oh yeah, man.
And as far as the rest of my week is concerned, I actually didn't get to watching too much or playing too much. I'm actually playing Monster Hunter right now.
Oh,
But I'm
shit.
super not done with the game yet, and it's been super fun. Monster Hunter has been super fun, and since I skipped World, having all of these quality of life conveniences thrown at me immediately is just like mind blowing to me. As somebody whose last one was Generations, I'm just like, how much more vertical can this game get, right? Yeah, Monster Hunter's been fun. I'm gonna finish it up and finish up the village quests before I talk about it. But the main game that I've actually been playing a lot for these past 2 weeks is still the Rainbow Six with the boys. And man, that game is just getting funner and funner the more I get into it, man.
Hell yeah.
There's something about Rainbow Six, but the thing is, right now, not only am I into the game, I've been studying all sorts of shit. Like I just learned that if you break a soft wall before reinforcing it, you can hear through it better. Like there's so many intricacies to the game that I'm getting so into right now. But I think the funnest part of it right now is me learning more about the personalities of this character or this world or this team, because now that I'm super in, I just realized that Team Rainbow is just the Avengers of this world, right? That's what they are, right?
It's the Avengers,
Yeah, sure.
but cops.
Yes. like every counter-terrorist organization in the world, the best of the best is invited to Rainbow. So it begs the question, right? Because like I'm looking around at all the operators, everyone has something unique to offer. Who the fuck hired Bandit? Because
Yep.
everyone has some cool thing to them. Fucking Ash has like a breaching rocket launcher shit. Fucking Thatcher has an EMP grenade. He'll take care of technology because he's an old man and he doesn't trust it. Like Dokebi can hack phones and shit like that. And
Yep.
then you get the Bandit. And like, how did that interview go? It's like, okay, what do you got for the team? I've got a car battery. Okay, you're in. Right?
I
never seen
I
that
also
before.
do
Battery.
drugs
Yep.
and kill people.
It super doesn't make sense lore wise. Somehow
Yeah.
Harry or Six, like the
It's
main,
Six's
the top dog of the top dog of Rainbow Six has never seen a car battery before, and
Like, genius. He could stick that to
Genius.
walls.
Incredible.
it
Does something
ma-
to reinforcements.
it's even more ridiculous because like I know they make it a big point of that they recruit people to Rainbow just to get a look at their like special gadgets. Like
Yeah,
they
they're tech, right?
their tech. Like they've been so fascinated with their tech that they wanted to see it up close. Like Wama is like magnets that magnetize your frag grenades and shit like that. Like
Like they
Bandit.
fucking hired Mira because she made a bulletproof like
Yeah.
one-way mirror.
Exactly. So like a guy just rolling up and like a guy that's actually a criminal. Like if you really see the backstory, he's been so deep undercover. He's described as being like unhinged already because like he was so deep undercover that he doesn't know which side he's on or something. Like he's got that going for him.
What the hell?
And
Yeah,
the
dude,
only
Bandit is so deep undercover, he's doing the drugs.
yeah, that shit. And then like I don't know the worth. I don't know why we invited this dude. Like it's a car battery he attaches to walls, and to top it all off, like his gadget is one of the most like meta gadgets. It's one of the most important things to seal up a site because it'll
Yeah, it is.
stop breaching stuff. And like I don't know why. I still don't
Dude,
understand.
I don't understand either, man. I'm enjoying this universe and I'm like really, really into it now because like everyone's invited from like specific counter-terrorist forces, right? You got the GIGN from France, you have the SAS from the UK and shit like that. You have the FBI from the United States, and like wait,
This is
Bandit is from the German
Crime.
one, right?
Okay.
Bandit is from the German one, but he's so deep undercover that he's basically a crackhead with a car battery. And Six just says like, "Yo, let that man in. Let that man into Team Rainbow."
That's a guy. That's a guy.
That's the guy we want on our team.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes.
I think like even though Bandit's the most I guess exposed operator that has a lot of issues. Like I think most of them have a lot of like records or issues that is just illegal in the eyes of law enforcement.
Super illegal. Actually, the best example of that is our newest operator, Flores, because I was looking through everyone's bios to see what organizations they're part of.
Dude,
And
he's
if you
just a
go to
thief.
Flores, he's just listed not as part of the FBI. He's listed as an FBI asset, meaning that he's a criminal that is in the FBI's pocket.
Yeah. Also, there's like
For the heist.
Amaru and Goyo, which are basically guerrilla freedom fighters. So there's also
that's
the
all right.
Grum's Ela, which actually didn't follow his father's orders and decided to just go to special forces.
Oh,
And
man.
it's also the same with Dokebi, especially for Dokebi, because her dad's also part of some like her dad's like a military head, and he just disobeys his dad and went AWOL and go to Rainbow. That's why Vigil is also there because I need you to take a look at my daughter's well-being or something like
That's
that.
the only reason Vigil's there.
Yeah, it's the only reason
Okay,
Vigil's there is to
cool.
basically shadow over Dokebi.
Oh man. So I've been looking into this lore and shit, and like I'm fine with it being ridiculous. That's part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
But what I've been seeing in the YouTube videos now is this divide in the Rainbow Six community of the old original Rainbow Six fans and the new school Rainbow Six fans, right?
Yep.
Because the new school Rainbow Six fans love this crackhead Avengers shit of like just get super cool operators to join Rainbow Six and make it the most ridiculous fun time team ever.
Yep.
And then there's the other side of the fan base who are like, yo, remember when this game was about realistic like counter-terrorism ops and now it's just an anime?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Go-
I saw a video of Gregor, who's one of the
Gregor.
like R6 YouTubers, and
Yep.
basically his opening line is Rainbow Six an anime? And does it really matter? So like, was this
answer
like
is yes.
is that a trick question or something like that? So it's
Oh,
funny,
man.
but he has a point though about the direction of how Ubisoft is going with Rainbow Six lore being very ridiculous right now. Like I mean, Iana is basically a perfect example of being going to the Avengers side of craziness.
Yeah, because Iana's like an astronaut that makes a drone of herself with floating drones.
Yeah, holograms.
Sure.
And not also she's albino, which means her eyes is sensitive, and the only way
Wait.
that she can combat
Yeah.
her eyes is that she has special lenses that kind of dilute the flashes. That's why you
Oh,
have
okay.
That's why she has like a special HUD whenever
Yeah.
you play her. Like
Does
a HUD
she?
UI
Because I don't own
overlay.
Iana. Okay.
That's why if you
interesting.
equip the Iana skin where she doesn't have the lenses, if you throw a flashbang at her, she'll die.
Dude, that was gonna be my question. When you said albino, I was like, aren't they light sensitive? Wouldn't a flashbang just kill her?
Like, that's it. So that's the thing. Like, Ubisoft is heading towards the sci-fi parts of,
Getting crazy.
of the lore now because of these gadgets.
Dude, like that calls into question some of the other hiring practices too. Because I wouldn't mind if like you brought on fucking Iana as a researcher. You brought her on as a fucking weapons tech person.
Yeah, that's
Got it. Yeah.
She's in gunfights, my dude. And like did she train for that? I mean, if you think about it, Amaru is an archaeologist, right? Does she have any weapons training?
Only has a grappling hook.
What's going on there?
Also, I find it kind of funny when Iana was launched. Like Iana's character was first introduced and got released in last season. She's paired with Oryx, which is the total opposite of her character design, because Oryx is the
Iana's
weapon.
Yeah, dude, because Iana is like
tool.
super high tech, right? She's like from Metal Gear Solid or something.
Yeah.
And you have Oryx, whose gadget is himself.
Yeah, I'm the gadget.
It's
Use
like,
me.
wait, what can you do? I jump high. I break through wall.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I've just been super getting into Rainbow Six. Like the lore is ridiculous, and I love it. I'm not sure how older R6 fans like are taking this, but I personally really like it, and I think Ubi is super dropping the ball here by not promoting it more in that sense, because that's kind of what made Overwatch super popular, the fucking characters and their interactions and shit like that. And I don't see UB capitalizing off of it at all. I mean, you showed me some of the cinematics from the Tournaments of Champions. I'm super into that shit, right? Like seeing Cav be a sore loser is awesome. Seeing Callie and fucking Ash like not get along is great. Seeing Thatcher and Dokebi like Mike Grace and like have that
bonding
kind
moment
of animosity and bonding moment at the same time, because Thatcher doesn't trust tech and Dokebi's all about the tech. That's super cool, right?
You could also see like some relationships of some operators too in that cinematic. Like you can notice that like Hibana has something with Pulse.
With Pulse,
they got
Hibana has something with Pulse,
something like that.
Oh man,
and also Thatcher.
Like
they officially
not Thatcher. Thermite and Aruni also has that kind of relationship.
Oh,
They've worked before.
Right. They had an up together. Yeah,
they've worked together before in Thailand. Right. And like. But then you have these side characters who are just like fodder, like fucking Mozzie. He just gets shot in the head, and everyone's like, Mozzie! Then that's it. Oh man, like I'm enjoying my time with Rainbow Six. I'm super getting into it, and I just hit 50. So I'm about to experience ranked Rainbow Six, which I'm sure will be a completely different experience. Is it super different?
Oh yeah, it's different. Well,
but I don't remember it now because, like, for the most part, all of our games have been unranked. I don't remember ranked anymore. Like, I haven't. I put so much of my time. Like, I've never put as much time into ranked as we have playing together. So I think the core Rainbow Six experience now to me is like what we do like almost every night.
Playing with each other.
Yeah, playing with each other.
Sick.
So that's it.
So
we'll
I'm
find
looking
out
forward
together,
to
I
that.
guess.
Like that's the game I've been playing. I actually bought the battle pass, and I'm like pretty happy with how generous the battle pass is. I'm gonna keep playing it now that I bought the battle pass. Like I gotta like ride it out, get the most out of it. So I'm gonna keep playing Rainbow Six Siege. It's super fun. As far as other games and other anime are concerned, I think I'll talk about that next time. But I think the other thing that I wanted to talk about last week before this ECQ thing happened is something that happened to me in real life, which is I finally bit the bullet and got a membership to SNR.
Sander.
Okay.
Yeah,
How you like the
it's
how you like those clam chowders?
dude, like it's so for anyone that doesn't know, SNR is this like shopping place here in the Philippines that you can only get in if you have a membership. They sell like wholesale sizes and shit like that. Very America store like level kind of shit.
Yeah.
But you have to have a membership to get in, right? And now that I am an adult with my money and I can do what I want with my money, I bought a membership to it, right? So when I first get in, like I have to fill up all of this paperwork and shit like that, say I'm a member, they take a picture of me. It's the worst picture on an ID card I've ever owned.
Did you have to keep your mask
And-
on?
No, they actually asked me to take it off for the picture and I'm like,
Okay.
So they take the picture, they give me the card, they let me in. I'm with Donna. And it just feels like a theme park for adults. You know what I mean? I feel like I
Okay.
bought a ticket to a theme park, like a year-long ticket to a theme park. And when I walk in, it's just like this weird wonderland of like, I've never seen this before. Cool. Dude, look at this. It's like the thing we get, but it's a giant box of 12. What's going on here? And like, I think one of the things about SNR is like, the first thing I noticed is that I just wanted to get like 3 or 4 items, right? And they don't have any baskets in this place.
Yep.
Like all they have are gigantic carts, and I just want to get like a handful of items, and I'm just like, like I felt really out of my element. I felt like I was around rich people that had gigantic houses and tons of mouths to feed, and all I'm interested in is getting cool snacks for me and my girlfriend, and I
That's
felt
how-
so out of place.
That's how they get you to buy more stuff. They give you a
Oh, with a giant
ass
cart?
cart.
Yeah. You prepare for the apocalypse when you go to an SNR.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Basically.
like, do any of you like shop at an SNR? Like,
Yeah, I do.
regularly?
I'm honestly
Well-
baffled you've never stepped into an SNR throughout your lifetime. Like your folks don't have
I've
a
never.
membership? Not even?
They used to have a membership, but
You've never
they
gone
stopped
into
that.
SNR with them? Not
No,
once?
no.
Weird.
Because
Weird.
Migs, I don't know if you remember this, but we got the old version of SNR in Las Piñas way back in the day.
Really?
Back when it was called Price Smart.
Price.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's apparently what happened to it. It just
It is.
transformed and changed name. So it's functionally the same. Like American warehouse type of store where everything is sold in bulk for the most part.
It's a magical place.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And they got some good ass pizza and clam chowder.
Not only that,
Yeah,
like they also
So
say,
much so
like,
that it's now restaurants that you
they
can
also
just go
sell
to.
like hardware and furniture, which is also a
Yeah.
godsend.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
shelves available in SNR and a lot of
right.
trinkets.
Yeah, I just feel like an adult now that I have a membership to SNR. You know what I mean? It's like on the weekends I'm like, should I go to SNR?
Yeah, dude, you live right near one. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the
true.
thing. That's actually
Why
one of
did
the
you
things
just
that made
do
me buy
this
the
now?
membership. I know. So many people have been telling me, dude, you live near an SNR. Why don't you just get a
Yeah.
membership? And I'm like, would I need it? Is it really that different from my regular grocery? And it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's super different.
They have
It's
cinnamon.
price
actual
is
like
cheaper?
imported American stuff too.
Yeah.
So you can
And,
like,
like-
you know how we have those quote unquote Southeast Asian like Pringles and junk
Yeah.
that are smaller than the real Pringles.
And they taste different too.
They taste
Yeah.
different. Like a bunch of other food products like that. So when you go to an SNR, it's just from America,
Yeah.
full sized and everything.
It's like duty free, but you don't
Yeah, but
need
but
to have
better
a
and
passport
fun.
and more local.
Duty free,
I
but
guess.
more
Duty free
free.
sucks.
Interesting.
Yeah. It
what do you
really
call it?
depends on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the most interesting thing about the SNR that I've experienced is like not only is like everything in bulk and shit like that, but like you said, Migs, they just have everything. They have like hardware, furniture, that kind of shit. And like the weirdest thing I saw when I was there was that they had this like bunch of stuff and they're just selling straight up Street Fighter 2 arcade cabs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Really?
Yeah, by Arcade One Up. That's a legit
Yeah.
company.
Even sell
it's
like hockey, like air hockey stations. Or
Yeah, they sell air hockey stations. It's the weirdest thing, man. And like just walking through it was like a theme park experience for Donna and I, because like we treat our grocery experiences like dates. We like go around reading packaging and laughing at it. So SNR was like a brand new experience of like, yo, look at this stupid American product. It's great. It's super great. I can't wait to experience more SNR ship. SNR membership. I think the last thing to happen in my week, though, because of the ECQ this time. So I got the SNR membership before the ECQ. So I haven't actually gone out ever since the ECQ, the Enhanced Community Quarantine. And the last conundrum of my life in these past 2 weeks has been I've run out of vape stuff.
oh,
Because all of the nearby vape stores are closed. So I've started jimmy rigging my vapes.
what do you mean?
Define.
Yeah, exactly. So all of the vape stores are closed. So I can't get my refills on these pods for my
Jewel?
vapes, like my Jewel, my Caliburn, my fucking Relax. Like I have 3 vapes here right now that I can't refill because all the stores are closed. So I started looking up YouTube videos on how to refill these yourselves. It's a little bit involved. It involves like a flathead screwdriver, pliers, shit like that, and I have to open up these pods to refill them with my own juice, and it's just not working for me, man. And like I've been able to refill this Jewel several times now, but like this ECQ is taking a toll on me because like I haven't smoked. Like I've been smoking like a cigarette like a week, right? Because I've been only vaping, and now that this ECQ has hit me, and I can't get my vape supplies, I'm starting to smoke more again. And
Have you tried buying online?
Yeah, actually.
wait
Like
a minute.
in Lazada?
Did
or
that not
Shopee?
cross your mind, or is it like a trust thing where you don't believe they have a legit product?
He
You
doesn't
guys are
order
super
online.
right.
Oh no!
He never
You guys
orders
are super
online.
duper right.
Wait
Fuck, I
a
could just
minute.
buy shit online.
Emile, what? I mean,
Yeah,
we've been doing this
wouldn't
for
that
a
be
year
the-
now.
Wouldn't that be the first thing to go to?
We've been
No,
doing this
see,
for a
Look for
year
official
now.
retailers of those brands online because they're
No.
all
Damn
there
it.
right now.
If
You
it's
guys are
not in a
super duper
warehouse
right.
full of pizza and clam chowder, I'm not buying it. Emile's not buying
Yeah,
it.
like
No.
I assumed that it was gonna be something like that where you need to see it before you can buy it, but
No, yeah, you're super right, Migoy, because like I have trust issues when it comes to online shopping, and I'm just super not good at online shopping in general because having that lag time between me paying and receiving the product freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but maybe I should totally do that. You're
yeah,
super
dude.
right. I
Like
could've
if
just
you're
shopped
buying from the
online.
same store anyway, I think it's safe to assume that you're gonna get what you want
True.
at the very least.
You're super duper right. I'm a big dum dum. That's my week. Thank you for solving my problem. I was gonna talk about it
Problem
more, but you
solved.
solved it.
Yep. You're welcome.
Your
Emile.
first thought was,
The
I need to open
internet?
this myself.
Dude, and that's what I
fucking
did.
Chemist it up.
What a
Dude,
So-
I
fucking
totally
Dr.
opened all of
Stoned it.
these myself.
So
Fucking Dr.
we
Stone
learned
the hell
that,
out of it.
Yeah, we learned that Emile's just Thatcher. He doesn't trust technology, and
Dude,
Maybe you should
I still
change
don't
your
trust
school
microwaves.
to instead of Silverquill. Maybe you should change to Quandrix if you're gonna be doing stuff like this.
Oh, dude.
he's revoking you. Headmaster Migoy is revoking you.
Dude, I fucking
I'm
got
the
so
sorting hat.
involved.
You could be great, you know.
I
The sorting
opened
hat's
up
the
this jewel
veil.
myself.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
With so many
God,
extra
God.
steps removed from just looking it up.
I should, yeah. You totally solved my problem. I'm just gonna buy online. Fuck. Oh, you're right. So now that my week has been solved by the Good Trades Brigade themselves, who wants to take their week next?
Okay, I'm gonna go next because you
Go
brought
for
up
it.
the Monster Hunter Rise, and that's
Yeah, go.
consumed my 2 weeks.
Yep. Pretty much.
Primarily for review purposes because Capcom graciously sent us the code, but also because I'm just having a blast with that game.
Yeah,
So,
man, it's really good.
dude, it's not just that. Like, I came from World, right? And I played, I'd say not naman a lot, but enough of the old game to appreciate a lot of the new stuff that were set by World, and even more so the changes that this takes coming off of World. Because this is the first major sequel after the big Breath of the Wild redo that the series took, right?
Yeah.
So, like, World is... Like, you can look up the history of Monster Hunter and all that fucking nonsense on YouTube. And the jump from generations to World is so stark.
Oh,
It's
Like,
insane.
If you look at every other game prior to that, they kind of look the same. Like, this one looks a little better, but, you know...
Yeah.
Just the camera angle and all the controls look very similar. Then you jump to World and you're like, did I skip like 2 console generations or something? It's like going from
Exactly.
PS2 to a PS4, right? Essentially. And not only is it a big visual change, like the big thing that I never was fond of in Monster Hunter games were loading zones.
Yeah, loading between zones, right?
Yeah, so every zone is still numbered, which makes it just easier for people to communicate.
Yes,
But
only
there
for
is
call-outs now.
there is no like loading hallway that you need to pass through anymore. Everything is
Exactly.
just one big stage that is just accessible to you the entire time. You can see monsters from like 3 zones ahead if they're within like visual. If they're within like you can see there's no like wall or anything blocking them. You can see a monster like roaming around and all that. You can even see players even though they're very tiny. And all the tedium of the little things like having to bring consumable whetstones to sharpen your weapon, having to bring pickaxes to mine ores, and then having those pickaxes have a chance to break every now and then.
Dude, that fucking
right.
blew my mind because like I was looking for whetstones and pickaxes and bug nets in my inventory and I was like,
It's gone.
it's just not there. And then when I went out into the field, I was like, is this an infinite whetstone? What's going on?
Like it's part of your action bar, but it doesn't take up an item
Yeah.
slot.
Yeah, I was like, where's my barbecue spit? Oh, it's just
there.
always
It's
on
just
me.
there.
Holy shit, wow.
Right? Like all the convenience is now there, and some people are still kind of arguing like it's not the same game. I want to suffer, and like, sure,
Why?
That's stupid.
You-
but
That's
why?
so stupid.
They
Wow.
want to equip a bug net and then just catch it stationarily instead of
I
just
can
running
sort of-
around and just pickpocketing insects.
I can sort of get the idea of that because you prepare for an expedition, right?
Yeah,
and I think
guess
there's
so.
like a satisfaction to pimping out your gear and all that, but at a functional level, right? Like it's just easier to just map it to an A button and just have it be an animation. Like fucking
Yeah.
the fact that
Sure.
Plus-
pickaxes broke and you had to bring specific pickaxes for specific ores. That's bullshit.
Plus, the preparation is still there, right?
still there.
The only thing that's removed is if you're an idiot, right? Because the thing that really punished you back in the day is if you load into a map without the stuff you needed. Like,
Yeah, you're
this is a
dead.
capture quest. I forgot to bring trank bombs. I forgot to bring traps. You have to abandon that quest.
You have
but
to,
now,
yeah.
if you forgot it, you can still prepare in the base camp. Right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that blew my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to waste a loading screen just because I forgot a trank bomb, right? Because in the older games, you would be severely punished for not preparing. But in this game, preparation is still important, but at least you're not punished with like 2 fucking loading screens just because you forgot something.
Right,
And,
and-
if you are an idiot and you don't prepare and you go fight the monster without that, you'll still be punished by needing to go back to the base camp, but you don't need to abandon the mission, which I think it's fine, right?
It removes a
Preparation
step.
is still a thing. It removes
Yeah.
a step, yeah.
And it's a pretty big step too. Also, it does the smart thing where if it's a capture quest, the item box will give you free capture items.
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it
yeah.
alone, it's really hard to mess up now. And they reworked the tent because back then the function of the tent before was just to sleep, which would fill your max health out and refill your stamina bar, right? Because
Yeah.
when you get exhausted, it gets gradually smaller, like the overall like meter of it. Now it's just like, here's your entire item box. You can not only craft items, not only refill or restock items from your item box, you can change equipment loadouts too. You can change
crazy.
what buddy you have. You can change what item they're wearing. It's essentially just the hub item box right then and there. Like, sleeping is gone because you can just
Who
drink
needs
a
it?
potion and shit. Yeah, there's no need. And just the convenience of that. And like, not only are all of these like it's what sold me to World. Because when I first saw World, even before we were lucky enough to try it early when Capcom brought it to ESGS a few months before the rest of the world got it, just seeing the trailer and I'm like, this might be the one I actually like. This might be the Monster Hunter game I get into. It has full on right stick control for a camera, which is already a godsend.
You don't have to fucking claw grip your
Yeah,
3DS.
like I still do sometimes for the radial menus and shit,
Okay.
but you're not forced to do it anymore. It's just a regular ass like control scheme. The
Dude,
lack of
I
zones
probably
was a big
developed-
thing.
Yeah, I probably developed carpal tunnel with the old like fucking 3U controls, man.
Oh yeah, it was even harder on like the 3DS too, of all things. But like just everything about it, all of that, like being able to craft in bulk potions is already something. Because before you had
Yeah.
to do it one at a time. Now, not only can you do it on the go, you can set it to auto craft the moment you pick up an herb. You don't need to mix an herb and a blue potion to fuse these things.
Exactly.
It's just so much easier, and they did delegate a lot of the functionality of previous things to other buffs and all that, so it's not completely gone. And just all of the weapon nonsense has also been kind of reworked because in 4 and I think Generations was it, they had styles, so you had your aerial style and then the other one.
Yep.
Now it's just
exactly.
like, oh, let's just go, let's get rid of the styles and just make it a move list. And they kind of brought it back a little by making some of these moves replaceable via switch skills,
Yeah.
which
So you get to pick your super move.
yeah, you get to pick all your moves. You get some new moves that weren't accessible before, and I guess for some weapons that might have been too powerful, they removed some key options and turned them into switch skills. Like the Charge Blade having the fucking buzzsaw axe mode
Yeah.
that they patched into World via Iceborne is now a switch skill. So you have to choose between going short sword or axe mode if you want to use this weapon and all that. So
I think one of the most mind-blowing additions is just the breadth of information that they put in the game locally. Right?
So
Because back in the
Yeah.
day, you had to go to an external website or some
Right.
third-party tool just to look up all the information about the monsters, their hitboxes. You'd have to look up their resistances, their weaknesses, their drop tables. Like, for example, me, like I'm fighting a Brachidios. I need to know if I'm using a longsword, should I be hitting its hind legs or its tail? What is my slicing damage more effective against? His belly, his left flank? Because all of the monsters have unique like hitboxes on each of their limbs, right?
Right.
And this game just has it in there. That's crazy.
yeah, it's kind of nuts that most
Interesting.
people don't know because it's, even though this game has a bunch of early tutorials, I'd say there's not enough sometimes because, like, there was an argument about, all the monster info is technically in the game as long as you've encountered them for the first time in a quest and beat them.
Right.
It'll go into your thing. But there was also like the confusion about weapon move sets, right? Because when you bring a weapon to training, it does show you like a recommended move list
Like a
and
mini
then a
move
base
list.
control thing. Yeah, like there's a recommended combo guide, which is kind of whatever. There's also like an image showing you like the base controls of it. And when you do input a move, like it will appear in the middle of your screen,
Yeah, like
showing
it'll
you
branch
what.
out paths.
Right, it'll
on
branch
what
out your
you can
combos. But how do you do like the super moves for this, or what hidden mechanics are present there? So back in World, when that was kind of the thing, we'd have to still go to the internet to look up somebody breaking down the weapon guides and all that.
Yeah.
And of course, because this info wasn't readily available, some videos would be better than others. Like you go into a video where he doesn't show a particular move, then you see these other YouTubers doing these moves, and they're like, "How the hell do I do that?" and all that.
Dude, one of the things I'm so happy is not in the game anymore is something called the charm table. You guys know about that?
No,
Oh,
I
I
do
have.
not.
Nope.
I'm a world baby.
So a charm table was a thing of curses back in the day. Like back in the day, when you create your Monster Hunter file, you would be assigned a specific charm table, which is a table of charms that can possibly drop in your world, which locks you in already. So
That
I can
sucks.
only get these charms possibly.
The
And
fuck?
So-
there were some cursed tables out there that if you got,
What?
you'd be fucking cursed. And, like I can never get this charm properly. There's like if I have this table, my chance to get this specific charm is like below 3%, and that sucks, right? So
You have to
because
reroll
of this,
because of
yeah,
that.
you'd have to reroll. But the thing is, who knows how to even get these fucking charts, right? But some geniuses, like in the Monster Hunter community, figured out that once you create your Monster Hunter file and go to the Argosy, your first pull from the Argosy will tell you what charm table you got through some fucking sorcery of like
The hell?
fucking coding. They figured out na if your haul from the Argosy gave you these items, you have this charm table. And
Okay.
it was a
Jeez.
struggle. It was an absolute struggle of remaking your save file like 10 times to get the best charm table.
That's
Like
dumb.
I'm so
Ew.
happy that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
thing
dumb, right?
that it's gone now.
Yeah.
Knobs.
Wait, so back on the weapons.
Yeah.
I was about to actually put that in my review. Like, oh, the weapon tutorial, like, or the moveset is not complete still for people playing, because I'm always at the point where, like, if a game has like mechanics to teach you, it needs to be within the game. Like, sure, it's easy. It's way easier now to just bring up a phone, look up a web browser, and search for the thing, right? But say you don't have access to that, like at the moment, or say like fucking back in the day where the internet wasn't a common thing that people just had access to. Why would you need someone to have an external, part of information just to play this game?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like bad design in general, right?
True.
So I'm happy to say that fucking Rise, the Hunter Notes is a godsend, because not only does it
Hunter
show,
Notes.
like Emile brought up, the monster weaknesses, their like what weapons they're like weak against and in certain body parts, their elemental weaknesses. It shows their drop rates and how to achieve them, which is
That's the crazy
the
part.
best.
Interesting.
It also has a bunch of other info for all the weapons actually too. So it doesn't show you any of the unlockable switch skill stuff, but it shows you the base abilities of what it can do. The sort of hidden features. It doesn't show you how to perform them, but if you do find out how to trigger it, it will show you like, oh, if you press this while charging this, you get this moveset. So I guess it's still partially up to you to find out how to do that, which I think is kind of fun in a way, because it makes you want to try out the weapons yourself. But yeah, having the info just be in the game is like one of my favorite things from this iteration of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, what do you call it? Like, I actually haven't looked at the hunter's notes for the weapons, but the way you're describing it, it's super great. And like, I know that in the training mode, it actually shows you the basic moveset as well, right?
It does. And also, like, the training mode here is kind of nuts because there's a training dummy monster in the middle of the stage. And you can actually program him to do certain actions, much like you would find in like a Street Fighter or whatnot.
Yes.
Whoa.
It's like a
Oh,
Street Fighter or Tekken training
Yeah.
dummy.
So like, what weapons would you like to try out on armored pieces? Oh, you hit the back shell because that's what it is. You can hit the legs, you can hit the body, you can hit the head, which is by default set very high. But if you have a weapon that has trouble getting up there, you can tell the monster to lower its head so you can practice dealing damage there or seeing what numbers you're getting, right? You can program it to follow you. So in case you want to practice your aim and whatnot or do setups, It will track you, much like how most monsters are programmed to do. Minus, of course, like speed and habits and all that. But you can tell it to perform a stomp, which counts for like tremor and heavy guards. So like light shields will bounce off it and whatnot. But you can practice like your lance shield and see how much recoil you can take back. You can tell it to perform a projectile attack, which will count as like monster spit and all that. It's kind of nuts. And the stage is made so it has multiple levels of platforms. So you can try out different aerial attacks in case you're messing around with weapons and seeing what they do. It has different layers of ledges, and it even has for like bogan weapons platforms you can climb upon, which look perfect for critical range at a certain height.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of all that. Like, gosh, it's so feature rich, and
It's so crazy, and like it even like just like Street Fighter or Tekken, it has a combo meter that tells you how much damage you did in that combo.
yeah, and the amount of hits you
Cool.
deal too.
Cool.
And like actually that was a feature since I didn't touch World at all. It was super jarring to me to see damage numbers in a Monster Hunter game. I was
Right.
like, whoa.
That
this
wasn't a
is
thing before.
This is super different. But first I was like, this kind of feels weird because like this feels more gamey than, because back in the day, like Monster Hunter was all about feeling out what you were doing, right?
Right,
And I thought that the damage numbers would kind of take away from that experience. But no, the damage numbers are awesome because I know if I'm doing a better job or not. Because
Right.
if I'm hitting that leg, I'm only dealing 1 damage. But if I'm hitting the face, I'm dealing 8. That's
Right,
a
and-
big
and you
difference.
see the
And I would
color
like to know
change.
that.
You see the
Yeah,
color change
yeah,
when it does
exactly.
a crit or not, right? So it will go from
Exactly.
white to orange and all that. So you know you're doing
Oh,
well.
man.
There's
It's
also
so
a bunch
good.
of visual indications now. Like, I think they were present before, but they're a lot more prominent. So you can tell which, like, if you're doing slicing damage or if you're doing knockout damage, there's going to be a sound effect and a visual effect associated with that. There's now also a visual indicator for mounting damage, which shows up in blue if you hit a monster. So, of course, mounting damage will be dealt with aerial attacks, but there are certain ground attacks, like, say, with the hunting horn, and you do the silk bind attack where you jam the horn, it sticks a string, then you fucking rock your guitar out. It flashes blue, and I'm like, oh, that counts as mounting damage. So, the way mounting works here is, like, I think I really like how mounting works in this game because it brings in a bunch of new strategy that our friend Wrong graciously demoed for us during one of our early hunts. So Wrong was all like support heavy bogan user, and we're fighting this guy, and this monster, like, once it takes a certain amount of damage, it will tend to run away to recover, forcing you to chase it. So all 3 of us chase this monster, and then Wrong goes like, okay guys, I'll be right back, I'll go look for something. A few minutes later, here comes Wrong riding a different monster, going to fight the current target. And then he fucking knocks him
hell?
down.
That's cool.
And then after that, like, he goes, okay, I'm gonna go get the other monster now.
What? He's treating them like Gundams, disposable Gundams.
So there's actually like a lot of viability to that strat, because if you have 2 monsters fight, they drop shiny pickup parts.
Oh, for more
Which is-
farming. Cool.
Which is always guaranteed to 3 per monster, regardless if they've dropped something beforehand. So if you're trying to optimize the amount of drops you want, this is a legit strat. And also, you, depending on the action you take, like depending on the attack that you do, or if you ram the monster into the other one, much as you would ram them into a wall, which is like the base idea of it. Like you'd ram them into a wall until they fall down, letting them be prone to free attacks for a bit. If you ram a monster into another one, much like in the wall, like the one you're riding will be in a forced knockdown state.
you
So
can
the
ride it
idea
again.
is, if there's 2 monsters, you ride one of them, but say you accidentally ride on your target monster, which you want him to take damage even though you're the one dishing it out, but you don't want to lose this exchange. So you beat up the other monster, but instead of doing the mounted Punisher like super move, you just ram him into it, which will cause the opposing monster to be in a rideable mounted state, and then you beat up your target,
Oh shit.
which will net you like 6 shiny pieces. So I really like how that works, and it's just really silly, like driving this fucking dinosaur around. Like, wait, guys, I'm bringing the party to you. And just the visual spectacle of looking at the corner and seeing this giant monster coming at you, and you get like this feeling of like, oh my god, I'm not ready to deal with this. Then you see somebody riding it, and like, wait, no, that's a good thing.
Yeah, you see someone on top with a bunch of wires attached to the monster, like actually puppeteering it. It's like, fucking, what the fuck?
We got a friend, boys. Let's go.
Like in Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
It's basically that.
You fucking Ratatouille the monsters. You yank on their hair to make them do what you want.
Well, you heard it here first. Good Trades Brigade says you can Ratatouille the monsters in Monster Hunter Rise.
Somebody will get that. That's not even far removed from the more obscure
totally
references we've made.
That's totally what they're doing. Oh, I have a question actually. Since I'm not too far into the game yet, and I want us to all be able to play this, is this a Raffy-friendly game?
Oh.
I thought it wasn't, because I know there's at least one spider monster, and I thought it would trigger the Ick Man, but Raffy saw Charlie stream earlier, and Charlie's urgent quest was to get to HR7, which involved killing one of these for the first time.
Yeah.
And Raffy was on stream. It was like,
I was there.
Raffy was fine.
Ick level 2?
Were you okay,
No,
Raffy?
I was bumping it down to Ick level 1, because like the levels of Ick are the current categories, the 2020 categories of Ick are.
But we're in 2021.
Yeah.
You gotta revamp that.
Oh right,
He hasn't updated yet.
It doesn't have. Wait for the patch. The level 1 of Ick is spindly arms. Now we changed it again. Now there's the level 2. The level 2 is independently moving arms. That's very scary. And then Ick level 3 is hairy. And I can't last. At Ick level 3, I cannot. No. And then there's an Ick level 4, a category 4 Ick. Just like Kaiju's, a category 4 Ick is surprise. If it surprises you, is hairy, has independently moving spindly arms, I'll just expire. Like if you threw a flashbang at Ian, I'll just die. I'll just die now.
Oh man.
There. But the thing that I saw in Monster Hunter Rise, I'd say a category 2. Like independently moving arms, not even 8 of them. Like
yeah, it only has 4. It's not even a real spider.
Yeah, it's got some symptoms of a spider, but like the big bug sack and the webs, and also it helps that like the webs cover its body.
Yeah, so for the early parts, you have to break the webs first.
It's masking like the silhouette of it, so I guess okay, but if it like jumps out at me, that might be trouble.
Like so I'd say even the mandibles of it are more crab-like than it is spider.
Wait, but
because
I thought crabs were a problem too.
Because of independently moving.
Because of legs, right?
Yeah, because
but
of
the
legs.
mandibles like pinch you instead of the gnawing motion and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it looks more like a shell creature actually than a spider.
Yeah.
But
Do you? So Raffy, do you think you'd buy this game?
If that's the worst, if that's the highest category of Ick,
it's just the one.
Possible.
The rest are just dinosaurs.
All right, I'm cool with dinos. You know, I like Dino, Barney.
And it shows up pretty darn late into the game, like near endgame levels, and it took me 95 hours to hit that.
Can I skip it?
No, it's a mandatory quest, and once you fight him, he will tend to show up in that map like more often now.
Does he surprise you?
No, you can see you'll see the icon on the upper right. You can see him roaming around the map in an icon. You can, if he's not your main quest, you can actively avoid it. And if you don't like the bow, you don't need his parts.
Sweet. Sounds good.
So you can fully omit the thing, and if dude, the hard part is if you really don't want to fight him, you can trigger the quest and we'll deal him for you.
Yeah.
We
That's
will
what
kill him for
Cool.
you.
You will
There
be,
you go. That's the solution.
You will play the role of my
can-
wife when it happens. Like
Yeah,
my
you can
wife deals
totally
with the
just
spiders.
like farm for ores and mushrooms and whatnot while we're
Yeah,
fighting the
Raffy
monster.
can
all
go off
day.
on his own adventure while we kill the spider.
You can fight another monster
Okay.
while we kill this thing for you.
Great.
There's that.
Sounds great. That's possible. Okay. The Ick Man. I love that you referred to me as the Ick Man, like some fucking Chinese movie. Chinese kung fu movie.
The Ick
Ick
Man.
You're gonna
Man.
wing chun some spiders out of your system. Get him
dude.
out of here.
And then, here comes Mike Tyson.
Here goes. Oh my god.
Yeah, Ick Man gives it a thumbs up. Not that much ick.
Ick level 2. It
Ick
gets
level
the pass.
Yeah.
I think the one
What
thing
about-
I really want to talk
Yeah?
about with Rise that I super appreciate more than World is that this game runs like a dream.
Oh.
Does, doesn't it? It's great.
Dude, like, take into effect everything. Like, sure, there's a PC version coming out, which I like to assume is going to hit 60 FPS because it has to. And it's going to have increased textures because some of these textures are kind of poopy. But when it comes to performance, this thing runs at a locked 30 frames per second. And when it does drop, and that's only when there's like a million hit sparks hitting your the full length of your screen, which will happen sometimes. And those are not very common commodities. It will drop to as low as 25, which is still passable,
Yeah, it's great.
right? And not only is that a thing, it's a full map without zones. It can have up to 3 monsters roaming around the map at any given moment, all of which are active. You have 4 players bringing their own nonsense, their own items, their own gear, their own weapons, each with their own hit sparks.
Their own pets.
That's the thing too. Each person can bring one pet. So it's either a palamute or a palico, so a dog or a cat. So you have 8 dudes wailing on a monster at the
Yeah.
same time. And it still runs at 30 for the most part. And the load times are like what? At most 10 seconds?
Yeah, dude.
For a map?
Dude, like the load times are fast enough that I'm having trouble reading the tips on the loading screen.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
the lore for the quest is there.
Yeah, like I'm trying to read it and I'm already in the map and I'm like, fuck, I guess I don't care about the story.
And the big load times only happen when you're, say, going into either the training mode or the hunt itself, which will load an entirely new map. But throughout the town, there's basically none. It'll just fade to black and
no-
fade right in. And
Exactly.
I love how this also applies to the Gathering Hub, with or without players. Because the Gathering Hub is supposed to be like the online zone for people to come in and do their high rank
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Multiplayer lobby.
Like all your functionality is within is also in the Gathering Hub, like crafting items, forging weapons, eating food, and all that, which can also be done in town. But the idea is you never have to leave your Gathering Hub when you're going on these quests.
Yeah.
So, like, there's virtually no loading screens, either like for both offline and online. So even if you have people, like, it doesn't lag the loading times. And just going into like finding online lobbies and connecting with friends is also basically hassle free.
Super easy.
You don't have to go to the Gathering Hub first and go through like a long ass loading screen just to try to connect with your friends. You can just talk to a mailman cat and like, oh, let's see who's online. Somebody's playing online. Click, join lobby, boom. You're just
You're
there.
done.
You're in there. And even if they've started a quest, as long as there's room, you can sign up for the quest, jump in mid quest, no problem, no nothing.
No more SOS.
No more SOS. The idea is because I like the idea of the SOS where if you're having trouble, you will shoot a signal flare into the sky and that will open up your quest to other people. But that's also like a bunch of extra steps that you have to take into account. Like you have to track the monster first in world,
That's
and
true.
then at least see it, I think, properly before you can
Yeah.
send out an SOS.
Now anyone can just jump in, right?
Right. Like even if you're not having trouble, like say kunyari, like the common scenario we have is we're just lurking in Discord, then someone goes in like sees you playing and goes like, "Oh, yo, can I join?" Sure. even if it's not even if the quest isn't open to randos, which you can also set it to, friends can join an active quest as long as you're playing it in the Gathering Hub.
Yeah, and they don't even need to ask for your permission, because last night we were playing and then like suddenly somebody was in the room and I was like, who the fuck is that? Oh, it's my friend from work 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he saw you were playing online and just
Wow.
wanted to see
Yeah.
what was up.
Yeah.
Just jumped into
Joined
the
us for
quest
one
and-
hunt, then pieced out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we didn't even talk to him, but that was fun.
That was
So
fun.
as
It
long
makes
as
it
it's
easier.
in the Gathering Hub, but other than that, you can still solo at your own
Yeah,
discretion.
you can still solo if you want. You can also because they separated again the quests from single player and multiplayer because World fused them,
Yeah,
which had
that's
an
the thing.
annoying part where if you haven't fought the monster yourself, you can't join any other people hunting that monster.
And
Oh,
that's
that's
why they
interesting.
included SOS. Like, for example, I'm a really good hunter. I will solo this dude, and then oh no, I can't. This
Yeah, yeah.
Click on the
And
SOS
I think they had
button.
to add. Didn't they have to add SOS after the fact too?
I can't remember, but that's basic.
I can't quite remember.
What I remember
Yeah.
is that's the basic function that if you like have so many things or that this hunt is too much for you, you can just fire the SOS gun.
Right. I do kind of wish that that option was still there. Like, say you wanted to try it solo, then you were having trouble.
Yeah, and
You can
regret
then
it.
proceed to activate it for online people by sending out an SOS after the fact. I would like them to add that back. But the general usage of everything is so gosh darn easy. It makes me wonder, like, how come it took you this long to make
figure it
all
out.
of these this easy to do?
Japanese
Right.
game.
I do wish that there was still a gathering hub that could hold more than 4 people. Because since anyone can
Yeah.
trigger a quest, it would be nice to just have a hub of, like, say up to 12
21.
people. Then they can just team
Yeah.
up with whoever.
Yeah.
So there can be like 3 teams of 4 doing their own
Yeah,
quests.
they can just do whatever they
right.
want, right?
Or they can just
Hopefully
hang
that-
out in the Gathering Hub and have a party or
Exactly.
something.
They could just party
That'd
and
be
do all their
cool.
emotes while eating dango.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully that gets patched in. And with how World went and how much it expanded, it looks like it's heading in that direction. Plus, we're getting that free patch for April for Rise, which will add.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's a real boss or just a Rampage boss, but we're getting an Apex Rathalos as a boss fight.
Oh, sick.
But from the
big.
trailer, it looks like a Rampage minigame quest. So I don't know.
Okay.
And also, I've heard some leaks. Emile, what's the dragon from Generation that has jetpacks for wings?
Oh shit!
I know this one. I know this one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know this
Rapper
one.
knows this one.
Yeah.
So there's been
it's-
some leaks, and he's part of the list of monsters that are to be
Shit.
patched in.
Shit, what's his name? Fuck.
Rockets in his wing. That's
Fuck, I'm on it.
interesting.
Yeah, he's just a big dumb dragon, but his wings have jetpacks. on-
Valstrax.
like it has
Valstrax.
boosters.
What the hell? For
It's
real?
Valstrax.
Valstrax, yeah.
Yeah,
Valstrax is
yeah,
apparently
yeah.
part of the leak list.
Oh man. I just want
Dude.
Sounds
Sick.
like fun.
I just want my frustratingly annoying favorite monster from World to be in Rise. And that's
Which
Space
is?
Beast.
Oh, dude, yeah, actually.
Oh.
That's
Because I want Emile to experience
I've never experienced
The
him. I've never
fear.
experienced him.
oh my god. Like
Okay, so in terms of absences when it comes to features from World, like the map is also significantly smaller, which I think is it works better for the Switch.
I don't think it
And-
looks smaller because of the verticality.
Right,
the
but
verticality is still blowing
crazy.
my mind, dude.
yeah, because going off of Generations, which was like zone flat, big flat
Yeah,
circle,
flat plane.
Dude, yeah.
right?
Dude, Generations was just the calm lands.
But Migs, remember in World, like the second zone where you had to hunt the puffy bat?
Oh yeah, the
Remember there's a
What's
bunch
that?
of holes that you could just fall
The-
into and go
yeah,
like
the-
3 stories
the-
deep into the earth.
the anti-Raffy map, basically.
Uh-oh.
It's so
really icky.
windy that you can get lost. I think it was a bit too overwhelming for a lot of people.
That's in
like you
World?
eventually
Yeah.
memorize the map, and there are
Yeah, but
zones
it-
which are
it-
just
it-
big arena circles.
It took time to actually memorize that
Yeah.
map because it's like
It-
3
but
levels.
It did make it feel a lot more alive when it came to that. I'd say
Yeah,
that
for
Rise
sure.
found a good medium between the handheld map experience and the world experience. which there's enough verticality, but a lot of the zones are basically like open areas still.
Cool.
But I'm also wondering like how much was that because it's on the Switch, right? Which is more or less a mobile platform for most people.
Yeah.
But then again, there's also like a PC version of it coming out too, so I'm not entirely sure.
It's going to be on the
But
same engine, so that means
right?
like
But assuming that they designed this for the Switch first, I think this is a very nice level
balance.
up from the 3DS experience, while incorporating essentially the world experience as well.
You know, interestingly, there's one button we haven't tried in this game, and that's play locally because of this fucking quarantine.
Yeah,
oh god, yeah.
But here's the
Ad
thing,
hoc
though.
mode.
Yeah, we haven't played locally, but the online experience has been so goddamn smooth.
It is. It's so
That-
good.
Like, this is, aside from the convenience of just finding and connecting to people, it plays like a goddamn dream.
Interesting.
The most lag,
Like rollback
like the
that
most
code?
lag I've experienced is maybe a weird, harsh disconnect every now and then, which I've experienced twice.
Yeah.
Like, it just hard boots you. Like, you get the info, like, you've been disconnected. But you're still active in the quest, so you can finish it by yourself while your friends are doing their own quest too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Just like the old games.
And the other parts is, aside from like the wait time for joining certain people's quests, which I think is also the only part you see lag, the other part is monsters will like freeze for a few seconds mid attack, and like, oh, it's matching the instances of the monster for everyone. So like Arathalos is about to do a dive, and then he just fucking T-poses for a second and then proceeds to do the attack, and I'm like, that looks funny. But
Speaking
hey,
Speaking of T poses, I've come across this interesting video of like using poses as tech when it comes to dodging monster projectiles, and it's so funny
Is that a thing?
because this player uses poses like I'm not sure how poses works on Rise. It's basically when you click on a certain pose, it immediately goes into that model.
yeah,
or
it
in
snaps
that,
into the pose.
yeah. So
It
it
doesn't
snaps.
animate into it.
So he uses this to kind of dodge one monster's AoE, like it's a
That's
wave.
hilarious.
Like he just goes there and then
It ducks the
immediately
wave.
ducks the wave. It's so good.
That's nuts. That means the poses have 3D hitboxes still.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
insane. And the poses are actually, if you do them, they're preset to follow a specific pattern of poses, so it's not randomized. You cycle through them all. And if you set it to 1 and you go out of it, the next time you do the pose, it will keep whatever was the last one you were into.
Oh, interesting.
So that might actually be a thing. It's not far from how pro hunters would play in the old games, where I remember seeing a video of this guy charging a greatsword, looking into thin air. But the moment he released the greatsword, the monster's face goes into that area, taking the hit, because he knows exactly what he's gonna do at that given moment. So it's kind of like that, I guess. And one of the last things I'd like to bring up for this game is the new mechanic, the wire bugs.
Yes. That
Which-
blew my mind.
It's World had the, what was it called?
World?
The grapple.
Yeah, the grapple bug
It had
or
a
whatever.
name, but it
It's-
was a fucking grappling hook,
it's-
right?
it's just a taste of what it is in Rise.
Yeah. So in World, you had
Rise is
specific
crazy.
points where you could use these grapples. So they'd have environments that had wedge beetles, which is just a grappling point. So like,
Yeah.
oh, this wedge beetle likes to hang on this tree a lot. He'll never move from that spot. It's
That's
just a
his
grapple
life.
point, right? Or specific monsters like the flying Remobras could bring you halfway across the map because they didn't introduce like mounting small monsters yet. And I think in Iceborne they introduced a new method of mounting, which you could just at least grapple to a monster straight up to deal a separate instance of mount damage instead of the base minigame that they had for World.
Right.
So now the wire bugs is just grapple anywhere you want. By default, you could either grapple above to zip you up, or grapple straight forward, and you could third person aim it by holding L2 and pressing R2 to grapple at whatever you're looking at. And not only is it a mobility option, they've also incorporated it into your weapons. So each weapon will at least have one silk bind move, which is what they call it. Because the
Yeah.
glowing strings, they call them silk.
Yeah.
So like say for the gun lance, the silk bind move for that is it will just put you into a perfect guard and reinforce you by silk binding your shield to the
shit.
floor
Cool.
like bungee
So you're
cords.
immovable.
And the benefit of that is if you perfect guard, it reloads your gun lance to max.
Awesome.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Or say like the great sword, which is notorious for being the big dumb heavy weapon that
Onga
barely
bonga.
has mobility. So the silk bind for that is the power sheath, which you will just zip away from wherever you're at horizontally. It will auto sheath your weapon, and it will wrap the silk on your right arm, giving you an attack bonus as long as that's still active. So not only is it a get out of jail free card, it gives you an attack boost, which sounds perfect for the great sword.
So you're incentivized to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're super incentivized to use it, and like it gives a lot of different actions. So like for the most part, it's tied to like another super move you can do with a certain weapon, like the sword and shield. Just it gives you a Metsu Shoryuken.
Oh shit.
Oh
Which
yeah,
three
sword and
times?
shield. Yeah.
Yeah, so the sword and shield has a regular move where is it the scaling slash where you'll slash the monster and it'll propel you upwards into a like either a jumping slash or a downward shield bash Iron Man style.
Okay.
But the Met Shoryuken will silk bind you with a straight up zip line that brings you higher while doing a Shoryuken motion. And because you're physically higher, your shield bash will hit more times as it goes downward, just dealing straight up more damage. Ooh. And it also has a guard point, so you can use it as a counter move if you want. And I think the
sick.
base one for sword and shield is you attach the silk to the end of your sword and just twirl it around you to deal like AoE damage.
That's crazy.
So a bunch of shit like that. It's really fun. I'm super happy about the silk bind mechanic.
You know, there's one more thing that you haven't mentioned that I kind of want to bring up really briefly.
Go ahead.
Which is dog.
Yeah, dog. New buddy pet.
Dog is
Bring up dog,
really
yeah.
crazy to me because, like, not only have they fixed the thing where, because in the old Monster Hunter games, if you drank a potion, you'd be stuck. You can't move.
Yeah, you
and for
power
some reason,
pose.
all hunters in this
Oh.
universe, after they drink a potion, they have to flex, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And they have gotten rid of that. You can now walk around while drinking a potion, which already blew my mind, right? And then I figured out that you can get on your dog and walk at full speed while drinking a potion or sharpening your weapon on the dog. And I'm like, this changes everything. I can get on my
Right.
dog and sharpen my shit. What the fuck? I can circle strafe the monster while sharpening my weapon? This is crazy.
Yeah. And because I think Palicos are still a great support type because they can put down traps, they can blind your
Yeah.
monster, they can
They can do
also
a lot
deal-
more than the dogs.
Yeah, they can like make poison pitfall traps also too, and drop healing plants and all that nonsense. The Palamutes, the dogs, are just also like aside from being a car you can drive,
Yep.
they can just deal damage on their own.
Yeah.
And I've seen that because I've when I started out, I always brought at least a Palamute in multiplayer because when you're chasing a monster, instead of just running to it like an asshole, you drive dog, you drink potion, you sharpen sword while
You
on
drift dog.
right? You
Remember, drift dog. It makes it goes
And
faster.
because monsters go very far, it's just a quicker way to get from point A to point B.
Dog.
And then when we started playing with people who started bringing Palicos, and you can see them, have you seen how they use flash bugs against monsters?
No.
They put them in a little fucking space rocket that flies slowly and then explodes and blinds a monster. And I'm just like, what the hell is that? And it just looks so hilarious.
Yeah.
So I started
like,
seeing the value of bringing Palicos instead of Palamutes. And once you've unlocked like subcamps and all that, you don't need the quick travel of the dog anymore. Because you can just warp around the stage with the subcamps.
Yeah.
But also, there's still an argument to bring Palamutes versus Palicos late game, just for the raw damage that they deal.
oh, they deal more damage.
Because
Okay.
they deal a pretty significant amount of damage on their own. Like, have you seen, like the base weapon is like dual blades with chains,
Yeah.
and they just fucking Darth Vader, twirl it around nonsense.
These dogs are just Darth Maul.
Yeah, have you seen the numbers that they bring out? Some of them are stronger
not
than
yet.
certain weapons.
Oh shit.
Like,
So-
sure, it's dealing 9 damage, but it's dealing it like 15 to 20 times per
Oh
second.
god. Dude, like, so mainly the difference I'm seeing between cats and dogs are the dogs function like old palicos, meaning
Yeah.
that they're very basic, they just deal damage.
Right.
And their main other convenience is that you can ride them. And
Yeah.
like you can sharpen your weapons and drink potions while you're riding them. But the palicos, they offer a lot more complexity because over the years they've given so much bullshit to palicos. Like have you seen a palico riding a tank, like shooting other palicos at the monster? That was in Generations.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to seeing that from the palicos here.
I think that's going to be a thing because a lot of at least the visual sets are kind of nuts. If you reach one of the 2 Elder Dragons this game has, and I wouldn't call them real Elder Dragons because they're delegated to gimmick fights. Like one of them is
Oh, they're
specifically
stage
locked
fights.
to a rampage, which is kind of shit.
Okay.
But the gear it gives you for Palico is it makes the legs disappear, but instead subs it for like a cloud. So
Oh,
it looks
shit.
like it's flying on a cloud. That's kind of
Okay.
adorable.
Interesting.
Like a
I don't know.
genie.
I've kind of always been a fan of gimmick Elder Dragon fights like Gen Moran and shit
Yeah.
like that. So like I think I'll enjoy it.
No, I think they're fine, but I would like them to add real Elder Dragon fights after the fact.
Oh yeah, for
Because
sure.
the one in World, the Xenojiva, I wouldn't call it a gimmick fight, but I think just because it was so physically massive, it had to have its own zones. But you fought it
That makes
honestly, like it was still just a big dumb dragon.
It was a real fight.
Yeah, it didn't force you to use gimmicks. You could use them for the benefit, but the thing is, kill dragon, carve part. That's it. This one is
thing
like use turret, summon Fugen, drop bamboo bomb, use
Oh, okay.
big cannon.
The thing I super miss and I hope makes it back into like a Monster Hunter game is any Moran fight, whether it be Gen Moran or something like that, which is a sand ship battle against a sand whale. I want
yeah.
that back. I want
And,
that back so hard.
I like the lore of that because it's not a threat to your town. Much like, because here the rampage is like, we got to stop the monsters from invading the town. Right? Shoot them with the turrets.
Yeah.
The sandfish thing from like 3 onwards was like,
Yeah.
yo, the sandfish is back. Let's farm it for parts. Yeah.
Dude, that's the
Let's
whole lore
beat it
behind
up.
it. Whenever it
It's a
shows up, it's a
celebration.
festival. It's like,
a
yo, it's back.
festival.
Let's kill it.
It's like Christmas.
That's the only thing that I didn't get to experience because I think it's only in Japan where they have it on Monster Hunter Online, right? Where it's the big ass, long serpent you have to
Yeah,
deal with.
it's the sand whale from 3U where you get on a sand boat and ride side by side with it, and like
Yeah, you harpoon it and shit.
you have to harpoon it enough so it stops,
I-
so you can fight it on the ground.
Do you think they will get it? Bring it? Do you think they will bring it back? Since this is like
I
a
want it
Matsuri
back
thing,
so much. I
They could-
want it back so
they could
much.
make it like a Matsuri fest thing in
Dude.
Rise.
I want a Gen Moran fight so bad. It's my favorite.
If not for this, hopefully the next game will bring it back. Or maybe if they do another celebration, Generations 2 type of thing.
Because
Which
World
Generations
has
was
that-
basically All-Star, the game, diba?
Because World has that other like cooperative, like 3-team event out of the
Oh, right,
the Golden
the-
Jagras.
What do you
Like
call
the-
that? The
I
the
forgot
raid boss?
Yeah, the raid boss.
Kulv Taroth, right? It didn't
Yeah,
have that.
Kulkar. It is kind of fun, and like it's still, it's farmable. That's the thing.
It's fun, but it
farmable.
was weird because it's not... Because we all expected it to be 12 people fighting one monster.
Yeah, but still.
But
4.
instead, we
It's
got
separate
like
zones.
4 people farming an instance of a monster, and much like how like mobile games or MMOs have like raids, is that like we each of us need to deal X damage to its total life pool,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it'll calculate that after the fact to register whether we
Like we
beat
have
it or
to
not.
contribute to this pool of damage.
Yeah, we have to contribute damage to this overall life pool.
You know,
in our own
interestingly, that-
instances.
Yeah, interestingly, that mechanic comes from Japanese gacha games, and that
Yeah,
is
exactly.
that's completely a raid in any gacha game in Japan, where
Right.
the total player base need to contribute to a gigantic life bar.